Good afternoon. My name's Eric Ford. I'd like to thank our hosts for their hospitality and the wonderful stay we've had so far. This is a great opportunity for the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, and I'd like to talk to you for just a few minutes about what's happening internationally as we launch our joint DRPH program. And in particular, I'd like to talk about excellence in hospital operations management, a global experience and practice. First, I'll talk about the thought leadership in international health and what's going on across the globe briefly. And then next, I'll talk just for a few seconds about how that connects to our DRPH programs, and then I'll hand it off to Dr. Scanji and Shi to talk to you more about the programs in depth. I'm sure you often hear quotes from The Art of War by Sun Tzu, and then I like this one in particular. If you know both yourself and your enemy, you can win 100 battles without jeopardy. I think the more challenging of these two tasks is actually knowing oneself. And so the question becomes, what do we know about international medical centers and what's happening in that environment? Well, one thing is the world is becoming flat. You've heard this expression in other economic domains where the business practices, cultural norms, and experiences are having more and more commonality across the globe, irrespective of what was there before. A second major theme that's emerged from international medical center leaders is that experience matters. The number of times you can perform a procedure, and the more you routinize that procedure, the better off your quality of care tends to be. I'll talk more about that too. Benchmarking and sharing information across facilities and across international borders is becoming the standard in order to achieve operational excellence. We're also seeing a dramatic shift in the way research is being conducted and the types of research that are being conducted. We're not just talking about the clinical studies any longer. We're actually talking about studying the delivery systems themselves and trying to innovate in those domains. So first, let's talk about how the world is getting flatter. Well, we see common measures are being promulgated by organizations like the World Health Organization, among others, and they're trying to not only benchmark the care quality outcomes, they're also talking about structural and system-wide processes that they're tracking more and more regularly. And to that extent, we're all under the same umbrella. Medical education is also harmonizing their curriculums. No longer will doctors differ from country to country the way they have in the past. We'll have a much better handle on what certain levels of medical education in different communities mean, and we'll be able to share medical care providers more readily, is one hope that we have. Common health information technology platforms. There's only so many people who can develop these information systems, and we're seeing a small group of vendors emerge, and they're global companies. They're not just in the United States, Europe, or Southeast Asia, or Asia. So to that extent, when we're all in the same information system platforms, the way we manage our data and the way we actually manage our processes will start to look more and more the same. Speaking of processes, the adoption of total quality management as a management philosophy is also serving to harmonize processes. Invariably, when you use these total quality management techniques, the way you go about changing processes looks more and more alike no matter where you are in the world. Regarding experience matters, this is an aspect of healthcare delivery that Johns Hopkins has been at the forefront for many years, whether it's patient safety, the use of checklists, etc. We've really been at the forefront of making sure that we are building best demonstrated practices across our health systems and with our partners. The other big change that we're seeing in the United States and that the rest of the world has actually been in the lead on for many years is population health management. Maryland in particular is moving to global budgets that look much more like the budgets that the state or regional health systems here have. So to that extent, when you come to Johns Hopkins, we may be drawing on your experiences to help improve our health system. Also, technological innovations like telemedicine and better health information technology platforms are really driving better practices out across multiple health systems. The other big change is research. We're doing a better job of benchmarking best practices, translating those best practices into operational forms, and then sharing that across a wide body of organizations. Again, Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health will be celebrating its 100th anniversary this year, and we've always been great at the basic sciences and the population health sciences. With that said, we're doing more and more now to translate that research that we've done into effective practices for change. Once we're doing that translation, we're also helping administrators understand how they can implement it in their organization. And most importantly, we're helping to build the leaders that can then actually manage all three of these aspects of doing great research, translating it into practice, and actually implementing it where they work. And that brings us to a little bit of the leadership process that we're going to engage in. Management is doing things right, and we certainly hope to teach some of that. But more importantly, leadership is doing the right things. Learning to identify what really matters at the population and organizational levels for managing health is a very big leadership challenge. And it's not only a leadership challenge, it's a scientific challenge. And we need people with the scientific and managerial/leadership experiences to really build a different set of health systems than what exists today. And this is where our programs come in. The Johns Hopkins School of Public Health DRPH program, through the integration and application of a broad range of knowledge and analytic skills in leadership, practice, policy analysis, program management, and professional communication, coupled with the preparation in specific discipline public health fields, graduates the DRPH program, hopes that graduates of the DRPH program will end up in the front lines of public health practice. That's the mission of our DRPH program, and we're delighted that you're sharing in this journey with us and look forward to working in the future. It's a long road, but it's a road with a horizon that we can all reach. Something like that. I'm not sure what you were saying about that in the past.